Aruni is one of Team Rainbow's most tragic operators. Her story is one of the most heartbreaking and redeeming storylines and lore we have ever seen for Siege. Guys, get ready for this pretty depressing lore story. Let's start off with the earliest part of Aruni's life we are able to find from her lore. Aruni was born on August 9th, 1978, making her 42 years old as of today. Aruni's real name is actually Afa, and that's a super tough last name, so I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. I'm just going to refer to her as Aruni from here on out. And her hometown is the city border of, some more tough words, Tafira and Sakao in Thailand. I know I butchered that. Now, right off the bat, we get a devastating piece of lore about Aruni coming up in just a little bit. We don't know much about her childhood. We don't know really anything about her parents at all. But what we do know is that Aruni had a little sister that she loved dearly. A younger sister that would fuel Aruni's desire for pretty much every decision she made in her adulthood and what she has accomplished in Aruni's life. What I'm about to say is actually a real world thing that happens every single day in these countries that have a history of war. One morning, Aruni's little sister was outside playing when she found a cool metal thing in the ground that she started playing with. Aruni was nearby and heard a terrifyingly loud explosion. She rushed to the sound of the explosion to find her little sister. The metal thing she was playing with happens to be a previously undetonated landmine that had exploded while she was holding it, killing her instantly. The image of her little sister in a field like that is still burned into Aruni's mind as of today. This single event is the leading cause for Aruni to dedicate her whole life to helping others affected by unexploded ordinances like the one that killed her little sister. Now, like I said, this is a very, very common thing in foreign countries. That's something us first world countries truly never have to deal with. Now, before I go on about Aruni's lore story, I want to remind you guys to subscribe if you haven't already, because I make a ton of these lore videos, and if you find yourself enjoying this one, odds are you'll like the other interesting lore videos I've made also. Thank you guys so much, and let's get right back into it. We fast forward into Aruni's story to after she graduated school and moved on to becoming a private detective to discovering unexploded mines. Her discovery of a bomb plot in Bangkok brought attention to the Royal Thai Police, or RTP for short. She joined the police force, but was left with some challenges. She was a short female in a male-dominated law enforcement agency, was tough to overcome, but her amazing ability to connect the dots between seemingly unrelated incidents earned her grudging respect from her fellow colleagues. Aruni was truly amazing. The RTP offered Aruni a detective position on the crime suppression division of the force when she dismantled a massive human trafficking ring and foiled 4 separate bomb plots in a short amount of time. She was able to track extensive shipments of explosives with ease. Her superiors loved and hated her. She was spectacular at what she does, but often breaks the rules and proper procedures when doing so. She was written up quite a few times, but honestly, she was just too damn good for them to fire her. Now, this next part I'm about to tell you guys is one of the most interesting stories in all of Siege's lore. Aruni didn't know at the time, but her life and police career was very nearly close to ending. Interestingly enough, Aruni and Specialist Jordan Trace, or better known as Thermite, were performing an operation in Bangkok when they found a deadly bomb aboard a pickup truck. The fuse was set, and they only had a limited amount of time to either defuse the bomb or get it far away from the city, so it limits the amount of casualties. Aruni was driving and Thermite was in the bed of the truck using his extraordinary expertise in explosives to defuse the bomb in time. The clock was racing. The bomb was about to explode. They're running out of time. Aruni was focusing on helping Thermite in the back when she got in a head-on collision. The force of the impact sent Thermite flying off the truck, but at the same time, the bomb they were trying so hard to defuse and save people detonated. Thermite, having been ejected from the vehicle, didn't get severely injured, only suffering third-degree burns to his hands and arms. But Aruni, who was trapped in the truck, was very nearly killed. The collision and being so close to the bomb completely blown off Aruni's left arm and leg, while leaving scars across her body and even her face. Aruni spent a long time in the hospital, but she will survive. She had to survive. There was still so much more she needed to do in life and help people. She would spend a vast amount of time and energy into rehabilitation, learning how to walk and perform simple tasks again. But she would recover. She later returns to work at the RTP as a private detective. Aruni went back to doing what she was good at, making big busts as a detective and helping save people from landmines from previous wars that still detonate to this day. Aruni was actually becoming pretty popular in the police field. Eventually, Callie from Nighthaven heard of Aruni and all of her success, so she personally met up with her to offer her a position on Nighthaven. Aruni accepted immediately, mainly for two things. One, Nighthaven pays really well. Now this will help Aruni to be able to donate so much more money to charities that help victims of unexploded mines, something she has always donated to her whole life, but now she will be able to give so much more. The other reason why she joined was to get access to incredible technology which will make her prosthetic limbs extremely advanced. Since Nighthaven was a contract with Team Rainbow, that's how she ended up joining when Harry scheduled an interview with her. During the psychological evaluation interview that Harry does to all new cadets that join Team Rainbow, Harry notes how quick Aruni is on her feet, both mentally and physically. She rarely hesitates and her judgment is flawless under most circumstances. Harry talks about how it's very generous of Aruni to donate almost all of her wage of Nighthaven to charities, and she says it all stems back to the awful image of her little sister laying in the middle of the field, lifeless. It would have never happened if there were more people in this world like Aruni that help combat and remove all these devices. Harry is surprised to find out that one of Aruni's best friends is actually a giant pouched rat named Hero. For those of you that don't know, giant pouched rats are specially trained rats that sniff out explosives and locate them, kind of like dogs on police force as well. Together, Aruni and Hero have uncovered countless undetonated mines together. Hero is actually Aruni's comfort animal. It's surprising it's a little rat though. Aruni is quick to work with other operators on Team Rainbow, as she has gone on operations together with Twitch and Nomad to travel the world to provide companionship and security when visiting destabilized regions of the world. Aruni tells Harry that she uses photography, a skill she developed as a private detective, to easier spread global awareness of the vast minefields left over from previous wars that still affect us. She uses the pictures of the named bodies or victims of these devastating mines to give a good visual to people what they can truly do. Harry supports this and will continue to let Aruni do this while being a member of Team Rainbow, and this is very important to Aruni, so she really appreciates Harry for letting her continue to do this. Let's now talk about Thermite for a second as we start to wrap up today's video. You see, Thermite was devastated and felt extremely guilty for what happened to Aruni. He would try and keep in touch with her as she was in rehab or later on in life. He would get very brief messages in return from her though. This led Thermite to believe that Aruni does not forgive him for not defusing the bomb in time all the way back in their operation in Bangkok. Thermite really did feel guilty and believed it was all his fault for what happened to her. But something was about to happen. Thermite had no idea that Aruni was a new member of Team Rainbow. So one day while training for the upcoming invitational event, he looked up and saw her standing right in front of him. A wave of emotions went through his body. Aruni was quick to let Thermite know that it wasn't his fault. What happened, happened. He was relieved to hear this coming from her. Thermite found out that Aruni was only short with his text because she is extremely busy with her work, not because she hated him. Aruni is so excited to face off against Thermite in the invitational event coming up. Thermite says in his report that it's like they never stopped talking and things left off exactly how they were so many years ago, and Thermite is very happy to have Aruni back in his life. Lastly, let's talk about the device evaluation that Twitch performed on Aruni's Surya laser gate. At first, it was just a detection system that made noise every time it was triggered, like an alarm. But Twitch found a way to take the same technology out of Maestro's evil eye and convert it into a constant laser beam of energy that would leave some serious second and third degree burns to anyone who walked into it. Twitch made security fobs for everyone that's an ally to hold on to, so that the laser field recedes as an ally walked past it and doesn't burn them. Mira is actually amazed at how little energy gets consumed from this device, and she really wants to see it and take it apart to figure out how Twitch did it. Some quick trivia facts for you guys about Aruni before we wrap up today's video. The Surya gadget, when translated into Thai, actually means sun. Also, Aruni is now the 5th operator on Team Rainbow to have a physical disability. The other operators are Capitao, Finca, Nomad, and Yana. I made a Yana lore video if you want to go check that one out. It was a pretty good video, link in description. Guys, if you can give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already, that would mean so much to me. Every one of these lore videos takes so long for me to make, between research, writing the script, getting gameplay, editing and uploading, making a thumbnail. This script alone for Aruni was 5 pages long. But thank you all so much for watching, and let me know in the comments if you enjoyed the video, and let me know what other operators you want to see in a lore video. Now with all that being said, Jippy out!